Hello there everybody, it is me XFreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're finishing off the Decadence estate. This is part 2, the last part of this 2-part speed build, and in this part we're gonna be pretty much wrapping up the furnishing for this mansion as well as doing the landscaping, and this part is also going to include the house tour as well. So it's a little bit longer than the first part, but that's okay because I really enjoyed the house tour as well. In case you guys haven't seen part 1, I will link it down in the description because I did talk about some really important stuff. That's where I talked about the inspiration for this build as well as the background of the person who lives here. But just a quick little recap, this build was mainly inspired by all of the gold items that came with Get Famous, and the person living here is an A-list Hollywood celebrity. I like to refer to her as the Grande Dame of Hollywood. She is a single mom. She's got 3 kids who are currently away in boarding school and in university, and right now she lives here by herself. Obviously, whoever lives here loves the finer things in life, so I really wanted to reflect that in the way I decorated this build. On the outside, it's very simple and very understated and very classic, but on the inside, it's very glamorous, luxurious, and dare I say, a little bit decadent. And I say decadent because of all of this gold. It almost makes me guilty because of how much gold there is, but you know what? If this is what she wants, this is what she's gonna get because she works really hard and she's got great taste, and if gold is what she wants, then gold is what she'll get. So yes. Anyway, let's see, what should I talk about? Oh, you know what? Let's talk about the actual thing that we're doing right now, which is furnishing this master bedroom. I really love this master suite. It's actually a suite of rooms that's composed of, let's just say, 4 rooms. There is a vault inside the master suite. There is the bedroom itself. There is this giant walk-in closet / department store, and of course a very luxurious bathroom as well. For the bedroom itself, obviously it's very glamorous, it's very luxurious, and very classic. I definitely see kind of like somebody, maybe like Beyonce, I don't know, living in that bedroom. I don't know, maybe Mariah Carey or someone like that. So yeah, it's very glamorous and luxurious. The vault, the fact that it's located in the master bedroom, I love the idea of keeping like jewelry inside of the vault. So, you know, the person living here, our A-list celebrity, keeps her jewelry in that vault and occasionally likes to, you know, be a little bit frisky and maybe do a little bit of woohoo in that vault as well, which just makes me laugh. I mentioned in the last part how that vault is one of my favorite new items that came with Get Famous. And another one of my favorite items is actually these walk-in closet pieces, which makes me so excited. These are functional like wardrobe pieces, and I'm just so happy we got them because I really enjoyed doing this walk-in closet. It's so fabulous, very Sharpay Evans. That is a High School Musical reference. So yeah, oh my gosh. Now that we're talking about High School Musical, let me just say my voice right now is almost non-existent. I'm recording this immediately after recording the first part of the series, so I apologize if my voice sounds a little bit crackly. I've had a very busy day. I have had a very busy 2 weeks, and I'm literally like forcing myself to put out this build because later this week I have a collab that I need to be doing. So I've talked about this in my previous video, but I'm doing kind of like a reunion collab with my bays. The Brindleton bays are making over the world of Del Sol Valley that came with Get Famous, and we are so excited. Some builds are already up now. My build for the collab will be out sometime in the next couple of days. This one is not part of the collab because we didn't get that much options, because, well, we didn't really have that many lots in Del Sol Valley. I think there's only 11 lots, so I think most of us just got one lot and some of us had to share. Anyway, this little area right here, I made it into kind of like this wall of fame where I filled it up with like these trophies and stuff for our, you know, superstar, for her to admire all of her achievements and stuff. And I think that should pretty much do for the master suite. I will say that the master bathroom, it's very like luxurious as always, very kind of like Art Deco inspired, a little bit more like vintage glamour inspired with all of that black and white color scheme. And I think that really sets that room apart from the rest of this house, because pretty much for most of the rooms I went for kind of like this warm neutral color scheme. Yeah, anyway, this is the room that I think is the third living room, because there's a couple of living rooms downstairs. There's actually one downstairs, which, yeah, and then there's another two here upstairs, which is this one, which I imagine is the formal living room. Yeah, the downstairs living room is more of like a family room, and then there's another one over here which is kind of like a kids hangout type area. But yeah, I went for more of like a formal approach to furnishing that living room that we just furnished. I'm really bad at timing my commentary. I really need to talk about the rooms that we're actually working on right now, but basically the room that we're just furnished, the living room, I just kept it really formal and really kind of like luxurious, because that's where most of the entertainment for the guests would happen. And then the other two living rooms are more of like an intimate space. But now let's actually talk about the room that we're furnishing, which is one of the kids' bedroom, and I imagine this room to be like the twins' bedroom. Yeah, I made it into, oh my gosh, I'm sorry if you guys can hear all of the squeaking from my chair. I'm sorry, I'm moving. Sorry about that. Apologies, but this is like the twins' bedroom. I kept it really nice and very child appropriate. Lots of color, lots of toys for them to interact with, and just to have a lot of enrichment, if that makes any sense. I love these beds. These ones came with cats and dogs and they looked really awesome. And this room predominantly has a yellow and blue color scheme, which I thought really works. My favorite thing in this room is actually this corner castle thing. I really love that giant castle dollhouse. Probably not the most realistic thing, but I think that's something that every kid dreams of having. I know that as a kid I would have definitely loved to have that you know, castle dollhouse. But anyway, yeah, right now we're furnishing kind of like the kids hangout den area. I guess this is the den, because the downstairs like living room, I called it like the family room, so this one's the den. And I imagine this room to be like more casual. This is where the kids would play video games. I also threw in like a fish tank in this room as well. If the kids have like, you know, classmates coming over, this is probably where they would hang out, away from the rest of, you know, the more expensive parts of this house. So yeah, this area of the house has a more modern vibe, which was intentional for sure, because, you know, you can't have the entire house, you know, all gilded and golden. You know, there's some areas that have to be a little bit more practical, and this is definitely one of those areas. So yeah, this little area right here definitely has a lot of personality. I threw in some posters on that one wall to the right there. I will actually change those, I think, into something else, because I did discover a lot of new posters that came with Get Famous, so I will be definitely making use of those. This room is for the older child, which I imagine would probably be in college, whereas the twins I imagine would be kind of like in a British boarding school. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, but that's kind of like my, you know, thought process behind the people living here. But yeah, the kids are away from home. And basically it's the mom is living here by herself, even though there are times when the kids would come over to stay for the holidays and stuff like that. But for most of the year, I imagine the mom to stay here by herself. But anyway, I digress once again. This is the bedroom for our older child, and I imagine the older child to be really into music production, which is probably what they're taking up as a college major. So there is this music production station, a guitar, and yeah, that room has a really funky red color, which I associate with like the early / mid 2000s. It's kind of got that like punk vibe to it as well. And then right now we're furnishing the gym area. It's just a small room which can easily be turned into a 6th bedroom if you guys really need the space. But the look that I was going for here was more of like an eco-modern look. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for my squeaky chair. I am whinging right now. Yeah. I'm so freaking tired. I had a very long and busy 2 weeks doing a lot of architectural work, so I really didn't have a lot of free time to work on this. I know you guys had the Thanksgiving holiday off. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving in my country, so we didn't have the day off like you guys. So yep, we didn't really have that much free time. So I'm literally like squeezing all my energy to finishing this because literally I am actually dying. By the way, the rest of the bedrooms I furnished off camera because I didn't really feel like it was that necessary to show you guys. So there is a guest bedroom downstairs which is very similar in style to the master bedroom, but the guest suite is a little bit smaller. And there is also the maids / butler's room, which is kind of like a 1-person bedroom. Nothing too crazy, but if you have, I believe it was vintage glamour stuff, you can have butlers in the game, which I highly suggest because butlers are super handy. And right now we're just working on this garage area, so I'm just putting in some toy cars just to fill in the space. By the way, that is a 3-car garage, which is quite rare for my builds. I feel like I haven't done a garage that can accommodate this many cars. So yeah. And then of course I wanted to include this basketball court because why not? I already established the fact that this family was a little bit more on the sporty side by including a gym, and I'm not sure if you guys caught it while we were working on the gym, but we actually put in some basketballs in that gym on display. So I wanted to have that continuity. And right now we're kind of just like laying out the pathways for the garden area. And by the way, this was built on a 64x64 lot. And oh boy, oh my gosh, how exhausting it was to actually landscape this entire thing. I did use some terrain manipulation here, like some terraforming, just some minor terraforming to kind of like make it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I am pretty much segmenting the garden. Is that a word, segmenting? Yeah, I'm pretty much dividing the garden into segments here to make it a little bit easier for me to process. So this area right here is probably like my favorite part. This is like the sunken garden, which is just an area that makes me so happy. I love how this little area came together in the end. This sunken garden is overlooked by the balcony from the master bedroom, and the views on the during sunset are just so beautiful. Like actually just the view of this area is just so freaking beautiful. I'm so happy with how this all came together. You guys will see once we actually start landscaping how beautiful everything looks in the end. So yeah, this is just me once again, plotting in all of the different pathways and just doing a little bit more terrain manipulation to flatten all of the areas that need to be flattened and to smoothen all of the areas that need to be smoothened. So yeah, this sunken garden is going to have a fountain in the middle. Initially I placed just a normal basic fountain that came with either base game or get to work, or like maybe get together, but I end up changing the fountain with one that came with romantic garden, because I realized that the fountain that came with romantic garden is actually more functional compared to the other ones, because it has like more interactions and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of like my idea behind switching out those fountains. It has like more interactions and stuff, so that's that. But right now we are kind of just like terrain painting all of this area. I really like doing this because it gives me an idea on how much I actually have to fill up, and it was a lot, you guys. Like literally landscaping this took me like 2 days, and it kind of like drove me crazy because yeah, it was just freaking a lot of work basically. This right here is actually like the secret garden. This area has a little gazebo, which I really enjoyed. You guys can see that the gazebo itself has a different height of foundation from the rest of the house, which is kind of like another new thing that we've been getting from recent patches, different foundation heights, and I'm really happy about that. Yeah, also this area is a little bit more secluded. It's gonna have like some statues in it. Oh, and it's also gonna have like the new pond item that comes with Get Famous. It's like the new fish pond, the one that you can keep sharks in. This is where I put it. That is a really funny item, by the way. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Once again, there was a lot to furnish here, you guys. Like I was actually really intimidated trying to furnish this, but overall I think it came together so nicely, and I'm really happy with how it all came together in the end. Yeah, the swimming pool is huge, definitely, but you know, why not? It's a luxurious house. Why be super apologetic? Anyway, we're doing a little bit more terrain manipulation here by raising these terrains right here, directly off of the house, and those pathways really do a good job at keeping these elevated terrains in place. It's like coloring in within the lines. I don't know why, but there's something so freaking satisfying about all of this terrain manipulation, especially when you get it to work exactly where you want it to. So right here we're just doing some landscaping out front. This area right here is going to be kind of like a showy like garden, I guess. Basically this is the front of the house, which doesn't have that many we are jumping back and forth from different parts of the house, which is okay. But you guys can see right now we are laying out some of the planter beds for the secret garden, and as you guys can see, it completely encloses this gazebo area, which so nice, just made me so happy. And yeah, eventually I realized that we did have that one fish pond item, so I will actually incorporate that a little bit later on. I actually forgot about it until pretty close to when I was finishing this build, and I was like, okay, you know what, I need to incorporate like this freaking pond thing that came with Got Famous, because that's just such an awesome item. Like, who doesn't want sharks in their house? But yeah, this right here, we're working on more planter beds. Really, I think this is like more of like a showpiece for the rest of the house. So yeah, it's like really well manicured, I guess, because of these like geometric patterns on like the grass and stuff. So that's that. I had to cut out a lot of the landscaping, even though I did include a substantial amount in this video, because I really enjoy the landscaping actually. So I wanted to include as much of it as I can. Once again, we're making the swimming pool a little bit more glamorous. I love how we got some new pool trims. We also got quite a lot of like decals actually, which are supposed to be for the swimming pool. I did use the decals for the interior of the house as well, but I believe these ones are meant for the swimming pool, and they just look so awesome and regal and palatial, and I'm running out of adjectives here, but you guys got what I mean pretty much. But yeah, I'm really happy with this effect right here. So happy in fact that I decided to include it in this video, because I could have easily cut this out and saved a little bit more time, but nope, that's not what I want to do. But yeah, I'm really happy with how the swimming pool came together. It's really square or rectangular, but it still works. And right now you guys are getting a taste of what the landscaping is gonna look like. So overall, I kept it kind of like a mix between, you know, very rugged and naturalistic and very manicured. So you guys will see me actually putting together more of these manicured, you know, like, what are these, hedges, I guess, or like topiaries, and then I'm mixing them up with some, you know, more naturalistic looking flowers and trees. So yeah, I'm really proud of the landscaping work. It was a lot of work, you guys. Like, I think the most painstaking work for me doing in this build is definitely the landscaping for sure. But it was worth it for sure, because everything just looks so good. I'm also including my selection of trees here. This is the selection process of trees, and once again, I was trying to go for that more realistic look. I deliberately tried to avoid the more cartoony looking trees. So yeah, these ones are definitely more realistic. I really love those Brazil wood trees. Those ones came with Jungle Adventure, and then those, I'm not sure what those trees are called, but it's those ones that came with cats and dogs. I love sizing those trees down because they just look so good. So yeah, I put that there as well. And some cypress trees, because I feel like cypress just makes things look so much more glamorous. This right here, you guys can see I actually did some landscaping, so you guys can kind of have like a little bit of taste of what the landscaping looks like for that particular area. And this is when I remember to use this pond item right here. I'm glad I remember this, because if I landscaped this area already, I feel like I would have had a little bit of a difficult time trying to incorporate this pond because of how much space it takes up. But I'm really happy putting it next to this, you know, gazebo area, because it is more of like a tranquil, serene, quiet space. I also put a fence around like the basketball area, because just for privacy, and of course to separate it from this gazebo and pond area, so because, you know, like you know, it's always nice to have that separation between all the noisy spaces. I also put a lot of trees, by the way, surrounding the gazebo, just to make it a little bit more serene and quiet. But you know what, you guys, I feel like this build is actually coming up to an end, so hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, please don't forget to help support the channel by sharing the video, liking, subscribing, and also leaving a comment letting me know how you guys felt about the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!